think we all go through our moments, and there is a colloquial term called the dark night of the soul. For many of us, the most painful, the most uncomfortable, the most challenging experiences can really be transformative in opportunities for us to define what's really meaningful and valuable and important, and maybe to set boundaries around how we allow other people to treat us.
What if the best chapter of your life hasn't even begun yet? What lies within you is the power to live brighter, bolder, and truer than ever before. So welcome to Vivatude, where caregiving, connections, and career come into balance, and where your vitality, vision, and voice shines through. Because the revolution isn't out there, it's already within you. Welcome to Vivatude.
Welcome back to Vivatude. This is Kate Phillips with Total Wealth. I'm here with Lauren Archer, and I want to share, or let her share, about what sorts of things she's going to be covering on the Vivatude show. This is a show especially for women, sandwich generation women in their 40s, 50s, 60s, who may still be, helping out kids, whether they're in the home or not. And many of us are also helping out our parents, whether it's maybe financially, maybe helping just advocate for them. And so we've got, the sandwich, the pressures coming from different directions, which is why we are talking about the 8 principles of wellness here on Vivatude. How do we support ourselves to create our best life ever? I am covering the financial and the occupational wellness, which I call purpose and prosperity. And Lauren, tell me more about what you are covering here on Vivatude.
Thank you, Kate. Well, I have been so honored to be invited to talk about the emotional and spiritual wellness components. And to me, when you take emotional and spiritual and mash that up, you get the energetics. What kind of energy are you bringing? Are you aligned? Are you on purpose? Are you on track? Or do you feel like scattered, pulled in a lot of different directions? How is stress affecting you? What happens when we are stuck in the middle and we are giving ourselves away and prioritizing everyone else's needs over our own? We can feel guilt, resentment, shame. We can feel scattered. We end up abandoning ourselves. So I am so excited to be bringing amazing guests on the show. I have women who talk about different ways of refining our energy, women who have been through the fire themselves, women who have struggled with mystery illnesses that doctors can't cure, because sometimes when it's an emotional situation and we don't get that resolution in the world, or we don't know how to, it can manifest as symptoms in our body. And if the Western medicine community can't help, then doing some of these emotional processes can heal, as well as different ways to connect with a sense of source or spirit or connection with whatever your sense of meaning and interconnectedness with life is. So it's going to be rich. It might push the boundaries for some listeners, but I encourage everybody to come check it out. And one of the things I love to say is, when you open up your mind, don't let your brains fall out. So everything that I share has a degree of it being evidence-based, right? Yeah.
Love that. Yes, yes. And I want to ask you to speak to a moment. You've had your own experiences with as a caregiver and advocating for your parents. How does that experience relate to some of the challenges or some of the things you'll be sharing on Vivatude?
Well, for me, I can definitely speak to being in what feels like a pressure cooker. I think we all go through our moments, and there is a colloquial term called the dark night of the soul. For many of us, the most painful, the most uncomfortable, the most challenging experiences can really be transformative in opportunities for us to define what's really meaningful and valuable and important, and maybe to set boundaries around how we allow other people to treat us. I walked through a period of time where I was raising neurodiverse children. My parents had to be moved across the country from Chicago to the West Coast. I had to find housing for them. I had to deal with their estate. I had to get all of their stuff sold. And in the meantime, my ex-husband and I were just beginning marriage counseling, a 2-year
Mm.
period, which ended in divorce. So that was, and my dog died. So, that was
That's a lot.
it was an excruciating several years. And my father passed, my mother had Alzheimer's. So
Mm.
the care was very complex. So, but I came out stronger. I'm not saying it's easy, but to use these experiences for personal development and growth, and to really make sure we're aiming our compass in the direction we want to go, it can be the richest, most meaningful times of our lives.
Absolutely. My experience of caregiving was a big part of what I call my financial storm. It was a life-changing financial storm where I literally lost my home in the middle of that while I was caregiving my father in my home and managing his challenges as well as being a single mom. But that helped me create the new retirement paradigm, which I was mentioning in the last segment. In our next segment, I'm asking Lauren to share about one of her favorite tools, a healing modality that I also have some experience with. So we'll be talking about HeartMath in our next segment here on Vivatude.
And thanks for listening to Vivatude. 4 hosts, 1 each week. We help you revivitude your next chapter, because purpose, passion, and prosperity isn't out there. They're already within you. Brighter, bolder, truer. Vivatude.